against the stream. It don't matter what race or creed or color. You love this land and you're my brother. That ain't place no one gonna stand. If you say you can't breathe, I'll show you we can. Ain't never gonna stop believing. We were born for freedom. We're born for freedom.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were born for freedom. How y'all doing? Wait a few minutes. I'll just make some announcements before some more people come in. Okay. First off, the internet is acting real crazy. If you guys watched my last live stream with Mr. Chris Yost, the owner and operator of 207 Tactical, located here in Texas, I had an incredible interview with him talking about gun control here in Texas and some stuff about Uvalde. He's going to come back on the show. I unplugged the router extender and plugged it back in. So hopefully we're all in the clear. I'm not going to throw my background up because that requires more, I don't know, more internet. And I don't want to risk it because today's guest, he's not really a guest. He's actually a regular on the channel. He's a regular fan. He's a regular friend. And he's always leaving hilarious comments for me. You guys know him. He's CLUU. And we are going to wrap up our thoughts about OZARKs. Now, you guys know, like I've got some black in me and I'm not on time except for work. And I'm never on time except for work. At work, I'm very strict on myself. Have been my whole life, but when it comes to other things, I'm always late. Okay. So I said that we were going to do a wrap up we should have done it like 2 weeks ago, but it's now been a month since the season finale of OZARK. And, time just gets away with me. You know what I mean? But there's some things I wanted to say about CLUU before we bring him in and talk about OZARK. Okay. So I was watching one of these other influencers and they said something about, not everyone who is around you actually likes you. Not everyone who says they're your friend is actually your friend. And trust me, that's something that I've learned the hard way over and over and over in my life. There's a difference between a spectator and a supporter. A spectator, I'm not going to list off names because I don't want to offend anybody. I got a lot of spectators on this channel, but very few of you are actually supporters. Very few of you actually donate to my fundraisers. Very few of you write me emails. Very few of you follow me on other platforms. For those of you who do, thank you. I appreciate you. I have the most love for you. And I always try to give you some attention, which sometimes I fail at, but you deserve it from me because you're not spectators, you're supporters. It's almost like that analogy that I made between the goats and the sheep and talk in terms of the Bible. But CLUU is, actually, let me put up this picture. CLUU is a supporter and he's a friend. And I haven't always been the best friend to him because I get very lost in my own thoughts and I don't always call people back. I don't always check on people. So before we go any further, CLUU, I just want to go ahead and apologize for that. Hold on, let me airdrop this. Let me turn the Bluetooth back on. Oops. Oh, wait, it is on. Okay. CLUU's a great supporter. And I remember when we started the Art of War series, CLUU kind of gave it a little pet name. He gave it a little pet name and he called it the Red Pill Book Club. And I've been thinking about that. And I've been thinking about how, hold on, export. I've been thinking about how I think it's so important that we continue to just look back at history and look back at the way things used to be, and all of the traps that have already been laid that we as a society we keep walking into. I'm a history fan. I love history. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to export this. Export. All right. Export to desktop. Okay. And that's one of the things that I try to bring to this channel is more of more learning, because I get sick of reading the news. I get sick of looking at the same influencers. As much as I love many of them, I get tired of looking at the same influencers over and over and over again. I get tired of hearing the same, you know, talking points over and over again. And the reason we have to look back at history is because we need to understand what the strategies were to try to defeat them, or understand what the failures were in order to try to defeat them. That's how I'm trying to compile an action item list for us. Okay. So he gave us the nickname Red Pill Book Club. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And so I just decided I wanted to take it a step further, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to have this YouTube channel. You know, if I keep getting in trouble, you know, with China, if I keep getting in trouble with China, otherwise known as Google, you know, I might not have this channel. So I really need to get serious about transitioning over to Rumble, being more active on Truth Social, and then also getting my podcast back up. I mean, this is basically this is how everything started, was with Beer Talk Radio podcast. So obviously I know what I'm doing. Why have I been procrastinating on Red Pill iTunes and Red Pill Spotify and Red Pill iHeartRadio? Why have I been procrastinating on it? And I thought the best place for me to start again was to take Red Pill Book Club to iTunes. So, CLUU, without further ado, let me show you what I've been working on. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back on the internet, and we now have a offshore hosted, meaning my hosting is in the Netherlands. This is offshore. It can't be taken down. We have offshore hosted, self-hosted podcast done through WordPress. So I'm uploading everything myself. And even if iTunes or Spotify ever wants to take me down, my content will still be up. So here we go. This is not the most aesthetically pleasing website that I've done. I decided that it was better to get things done than perfect. Okay. So yes, I had another website before that I was using another WordPress theme before, and it was really beautiful and really perfect looking. But this one is much better for my SEO, search engine optimization, and I don't care how it looks. The point is, it's up, and I am already live on iHeartRadio, and I am already live on Spotify, and it'll take probably 2 or 3 more days to get live on iTunes. So thank you. Let me just go through it just a little bit. Got all my socials up here. I've got our book list. As you can see, The Art of War is on there. If you are following me on Instagram, I am going through It's Your Ship. I can download those videos, rip the audio from that, and put that up on iTunes. We've got Kyle Maynard's No Excuses, also a book that I've been reading on Instagram. Going to throw that up there. I just got a book from Bro. And actually, let me make this bigger. I just got a book from Bro called The Liberty Amendments. I've had another book that I've been trying to read for a long time called Democrats for Life. It's a pro-life, but it's a pro-life progressive book. Kind of cool. I thought that might be an interesting read. I'm going to go ahead and purchase Megan McGlover, and we all love Megan McGlover here on this channel. She's got the Stop Lying book. I feel like that's a really good psychology book that we all need to go through. I also have Triggered by Donald Trump Jr. I just got The Naked Communist a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I got that in. We've got The Art of War, which we're going through right now. We already did our Revelation series, so I'm going to rip and edit the audio from that, get that up on iTunes. And then I've got some stuff from Manning Johnson that we've gone through before. I'm going to rip the audio from that and get that up on iTunes too. As you can see, the podcast, the first one is already up. I've got all my links. My links are live here. I've got everything separated by categories. There's me and my, my future ex-husband, Matt Getz. I put together the study material, so that's got more in depth about each book, as along with the YouTube links, so you can listen to it or you can watch it. But either way, it's going to drive traffic to YouTube, so that's a good thing. That's almost finished. We've got the actual posts themselves, okay? And then I have my About Me page. So I put up, there I am at the walkaway speaking. I'm going to put up some viral videos that I've done. I've got my top YouTube viral videos. I'm going to add my top viral Twitter videos, my top viral TikTok videos. And then I've got my favorite interview, Axe Truth. That piece of shit, Patriots Flow, even though I hate that motherfucker right now, at least he gave a really, really good interview. So I'm going to put that up. I've got all the walkaway people that I've interviewed. Skip from Canada did a great interview. The business meeting we did at the beginning of the year, Maurice Delk was there, Zach was there, Ollie Matthews was there. We covered a little bit of Theo's material. That one was good. And I know a lot of people watched my The Empire Was Right video, but that's there. And here I've got my favorite lectures. These are the videos that I have really put my heart and soul into. I think they pack a really big punch. I think they give you, as patriots, I think they give you talking points and rebuttals for everything that the radical left is saying and doing. I've got my Dear Snoop Dogg, my Fight Back, my stuff about when I was on the recall effort for Gavin Newsom. What did Billy Graham say about communism? Is BLM practicing Satanism? Or no, is BLM practicing witchcraft? Is Donald Trump the Terminator? I have a great video here about DARPA and what a terrible organization they are. I've got my race hoax video and I've got my survivalist video. I've got some videos of me over the past 2 years from Texas to California to Philadelphia, Atlanta, Florida, DC, all the places that I've been. So thank you, CLUU, for being the inspiration. And without further ado, I said it would be 5 minutes, but it's now been 15. Here you go, CLUU. What do you think?
She did not mention any of this to me. So I'm like, what? You've already pulled the trigger on that project? I'm way behind. I need to catch up. You're muted.
We can have, me and you can have another meeting and I'll show you how I did it. I remember, I don't want to tell everyone our secret, but the same format in WordPress that we talked about the other project on is very similar to how you do it for podcasting. So it's a little bit different, but it's very similar. So we can walk through it and I'll show you exactly what I did. But I'm already live on Spotify and iHeartRadio.
Congratulations. You know that what I told you before we went live about that certification? That language, PHP, that's what WordPress is programmed in. I know how to create plugins and themes, and I'll be certified in doing it. See, you can see how I can get paid off of this.
Right. Where's my slave fan? Where's my slave fan? You get a slave for that. Let me find it first.
I had no idea, guys. She was this freaking busy.
And you know what? I've only been working on it since about 9 o'clock last night. So I've got all that work done. I've got everything plugged into the major podcasting hosting platforms. Obviously, Apple Podcasts is number one. About 80% of people who listen to podcasts listen on iTunes. 20% listen on Spotify, and slightly less listen on iHeartRadio. As far as all the other podcasting platforms go, there's really no point. Nobody's listening to anything.
Yeah, they're too small.
They're not. So
They're too small.
We go where the people are. That's where we go.
And if you're on iTunes or Spotify, you're automatically in, everybody's car that bought their car past 2019. So you're automatically in people's cars.
Exactly.
Then you're on people's phones, you're on people's iPads and tablets. So
thank you for the idea of Red Pill Book Club. The actual website, I'll put it up here. I wasn't able to purchase Red Pill Book Club because it's already taken, but it is going to be called redpillreadingclub.com. So I'll put that here for everyone to. All right, guys, redpillreadingclub.com, and it's
write it down, bookmark it, write it down, bookmark it, screenshot everything. So is it safe to say that you are uncancelable? You can't be canceled?
As long as the Netherlands ain't got nothing to say about it, we good.
I ain't participating in our foolishness.
Offshore hosting is the way to go.
Is it expensive? You don't have to give a price, but
no,
you get pretty good bandwidth and all that.
Yeah. My domain name I think was $11.95, but I already had purchased another domain name, redpilltv.net, for our other project.
I'm not saying what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
So I already had purchased that, but then I've been so procrastinating and just gripped with fear about how am I going to get it done, that I just added that on. So the hosting for this website is free because it's attached to the monthly payment that I make for the other website. So I'm really only paying $10 for the domain name and $10 a month for the hosting.
But keep in mind that as you get bigger, you're gonna need to pay more for more bandwidth, or people are gonna be complaining about buffering. Here's one thing I just thought of while I was watching your presentation. There needs to be a plug-in, and I know how to make plugins. There should be a plugin that can as long as it's still on YouTube, it'll play through YouTube. It'll play the video through YouTube and not pull on your bandwidth. But if YouTube bans it or flags it down without your knowledge, it'll automatically switch over to the file that you have on the server. And it's going to be seamless. It could be seamless to where the user won't know the difference. Because let's say 1,000 people go into your site and watch the same video at the same time. If the YouTube video is still up, let them host that. Let them host a video. It'll make it an embed, and they can watch it from YouTube, but on your site, so it doesn't feel like YouTube. But if YouTube's okay, we're gonna flag this down because it's not very China friendly. We're gonna flag it down. Then it automatically start playing the file that's on your server. So that's a good plug-in to make.
See, these are things I don't. These are things I don't think about, which is why I have you in my life.
I'm trying to get certified in it so I can get out of this place and be in a real house and do my work.
Exactly. Well, we are already going over time because I talk too fucking much. I hope I didn't blow up
It's
your
all good
head
news.
or,
It's all
blow up
good
your
news.
ego or anything.
Oh,
Let the topic for tonight, the actual topic for tonight, is our thoughts and feelings about this show. This show. We needs to talk about Ozark. Now,
miss
we
my
have
girl
watched
already.
all the seasons. You already getting mad. I'm already getting mad. I'm glad we had a nice light conversation before we start getting serious. Okay.
Can't believe it. Can't believe they did that. But go ahead. Sorry.
What did you think of the final season? And we'll talk about characters afterward. But just in general, what was your thoughts on the final season?
The final season was done very well. Of course, the two major deaths are the only thing that I'm disappointed about. But the story moved along very nicely. We got to see a change in Wendy. Wendy's character just went way over the top. We got to see I like the twist to make you think, okay, this bad guy's getting weaker, but he really wasn't. He was in control the whole time. Well, until that final moment, but the vast beginning of the last season, he was in control. He was watching everything. He was on code, all that. I like what they did with what's the youngest son, Jonah. They never, even though he's getting stronger and he's getting more in his convictions, they never made him a brat. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but he never became a brat. It looked like he was becoming his dad. His dad, good at not showing emotion, good at staying calm when everything's falling apart. I think they wanted to make him to be going towards his dad and rebelling against his mom. So I like what they did with Jonah. But there are two things I really hate, and you know what they are. Oh my God. You're muted.
So before we get to that, I agree with you on Jonah. I think Jonah actually turned out to be the best character in almost the whole series. It's almost like him and his dad, him and Marty have a little bit of what is it when you don't have emotions? A little sociopathic, and not in like a psychotic,
stoic.
Not in a psychotic way, but just very stoic. Very stoic. They're both very stoical. They're both very matter of fact. They're problem solvers, and I really liked the way Jonah's character really grew up. And at times he stood up to his mom. At times he stood up to his dad. He did what he wanted to do, and that was it, but he was still a very responsible child who saw the issues that his parents created and wanted to do what he could to save his parents. So I think there's a term in psychology which I am guilty of myself, and that's called parentification of a child. the kids were the parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The parents were a whole lot more frivolous and wild. The kids were the ones trying to be the glue that could keep everything together. Another thing I liked about this season is they brought on, and this is not an actor that a lot of people really know, but if you're over the age of like 40, you should know who this is. Richard Hatch. So Richard Hatch was a famous TV star from the 70s and 80s. He was in the original Battlestar Galactica. So he was
What?
Wendy's
Oh, the original. I haven't seen the original.
Huh?
I hadn't seen the original. You said Battlestar. I saw the remake, but go ahead.
The remake, yeah, the remake was way better, but the original was from the 70s, and Richard Hatch was in that. So it was good to see them bring an old school actor, an old school famous actor into this to play Wendy's dad. What was concerning to me was about the dynamics between them. Like, what kind of shit was Wendy doing when she was a kid and a teenager, let alone to have no moral code as an adult? So it was cool to see, why they don't like each other. The recap about her brother was really good.
Oh, yeah.
It was
yeah.
sad, but it was good. I know we disagree. CLUU, do you have me playing on two things? Because we can
hear an echo.
Mhm.
Might have to go to the phones.
We need you back, CLUU. We'll wait. Your mic. I think you got to go to settings and do your mic. It's okay, Lioness. I heard it too. It wasn't bothering me too much, but if it's bothering you guys, we're gonna fix it. Do your audio output through your headphones. Do your audio input through your mic. CLUU. Don't apologize, Linus. Don't apologize. It's all good. It's just that delay.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
What about the echo? Is it doing? It should be.
There's no echo from me, but you sound a little bit different, but it's okay. We can still hear you clearly.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. And Rage.
We can still hear you fine. Okay. So I forgot what I was saying, but yeah. It was I thought overall the season was good. It obviously there's one character that got very tedious, and she's right here, and she really, really, really gave me a headache. Like she was almost like Skylar from Breaking Bad, but like the evil version. She was like the evil version.
Why did everybody hate Skylar?
I didn't think Skylar was that bad, but like I can understand how she was irritating her man, and we as women, we as red-pilled women, we're trying not to do that. We're trying.
Well, I guess I'm biased because I like the actress Anna Gunn. So I guess I was biased. I guess if I didn't know the actress, I'd be annoyed with all the rest of the fans. I'm talking about Skylar actress Anna Gunn.
Anna Gunn was beautiful. Like, she's super beautiful. She
Yes.
was in Deadwood.
Mhm.
She was in that show, that HBO, I think it was HBO or Showtime. She was in Deadwood too. But anyway, this isn't about Skylar. So obviously this one character on the right-hand side of the screen really irritated me. I know she irritated you, CLUU. Why don't you just go ahead and rip that bitch a new one?
Because she would not stay level-headed, for one thing. She doesn't listen. She doesn't take Marty's advice on anything. The only time I saw her admit that she was wrong was the road rage scene. When she finally admitted that, you know, maybe I'm a little bit of a bitch to my husband. She finally admitted it's like everything's everybody else's fault. She took no responsibility for what happened to Ben, even though most of it was her fault. I mean, she'd go behind Marty's back and do things that put his life at risk and did not run it by him at first. Like when he was going to be the new, you know, the temporary Don or the cartel boss. He didn't know he was going over there, but he's like, hey, by the way, you're going to Mexico. Like, he's looking at his wife like, you might want to tell me this before they get here with the limo. And you know the whole part about how they're gonna take out Navarro. He didn't know that. While he was in prison, he didn't know. It's supposed to be a partnership, two people working at it, but the decisions are made behind his back mostly. So that pissed me off.
She's completely. So I said this in our prediction party. This bitch is power hungry, but as a result of being power hungry, she does not think ahead to the next step. Marty, Jonah, they are always thinking 2-3 steps ahead. They always have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. But the way that she operated, it became to the point where she was just literally delusional. She was almost like toxically optimistic about everything. She thought she could do everything, get away with everything, jeopardize everybody's shit, jeopardize everybody's money, jeopardize everybody's fucking life, and somehow everything was going to be okay. It was almost like her need to be a shot caller superseded her logic and her loyalty to anybody. She's not loyal to anybody. I literally had hoped that she would be the one who would be deceased by the end of the fucking season, but no. Everybody else who has some redeemable value got wasted, and this bitch is still fucking running
hopping around.
Still up and running. She's very she's volatile, she's impulsive, and she's fucking dangerous. And I hated her. By the end of the whole thing, I fucking hated her. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our two favorite characters who unfortunately had lost their lives as a result of Miss Wendy Thang.
Oh God. I keep wanting her not to. We're gonna start with Ruth.
We'll start with Ruthie, yeah.
I think she won the Emmy for that role, I believe. At the least nominated for her, but I think she won. She's actually, I believe, a Brit. So that lets you know how good she is.
She's British?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't either until I looked at the interview. Yeah, either that or Aussie. Either that or Aussie.
So her name is Julia Garner.
Yep.
Let's read a little bit about her. Okay, she was born in New York City. Let's see, maybe she grew up in England or something. Okay, no, it says she's in a. Oh no, she's from New York.
What did I get?
She's half Jewish. But still, if she's from New York and she talk like that, then she's very good at her acting skills. Yeah, she's New York. She a Bronx bitch too, just like Cardi. She's a model. I could definitely see her being a model. Yeah, born and raised in New York.
I don't know where I got.
And her mother is Israeli. Interesting.
Okay.
She started taking acting classes as a hobby to help overcome her shyness. She likes Betty Davis. That explains a lot. Betty Davis was great.
She's afraid of insects so much that scene in like the first or second season where she had to kill one of them. No, a mouse. It was a mouse, I think. Where she had to not kill it, but grab it. I think when she was setting the trap up to electrocute Marty, they had to get a hand. They had to get a hand double because she was so afraid of it. They had to use a hand. That's not her hand in the scene. That's a double.
Well, check this out. Her mother was a therapist and her father was a comedian.
That's an odd combination of gigs for parents.
Yeah. Her father then became a painter and an art teacher. Her sister is an artist, a writer, and a producer. So she's got creative people in her family. That's great. But she also understands the human mind, I'm sure, which is why she could really do this role the way that she did with so much passion, because she's channeling like every personality disorder that there is. Oh, she is pretty. She looks good, all cleaned up.
What did you think about the scene where she talks to the judge and she's trying to get the judge to expunge her record?
I could see her, like, she did it very well because she was forcing herself to be fake, but she pulled it off in the most honest way possible, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She was transparent.
She slipped the F word in the interview the only way she could.
She was transparent, but she was also trying to, she understood that there was really, she couldn't try to cover up her family and couldn't try to cover up her past. So she had to use it as motivation to get her record expunged. And that was smart. That was smart. Let's move on to the okay, so about her death.
That's worse than the other one's death.
I think when we were talking on the phone, you mentioned something about Wendy should have given her a heads up, sent her a message, like you said, sent a busboy over to tell her, do not fucking go home.
Something. They can't watch. Those people can't watch everybody. Something.
Right. So I think that, again, it goes back to how fucking evil Wendy was, that she literally just did not fucking care. Just didn't care if Ruthie had to be the whipping girl for all of the problems that were created. And she knew damn well if she'd have told Ruthie where that Mexican motherfucker Javier was, what Ruthie was gonna do. She knew fucking damn well, and they could have timed it better. She could have helped her out, be like, there would have been other opportunities for Ruthie to kill him and not have to do it inside that bitch's fucking office.
So you think it was a setup from the beginning?
Exactly.
Because you really can't have closure if you're doing business with this cartel boss. You're really not going to have any closure until she understands what happened, or till she gets closure with what happened to her son. Mm-hmm. So you think that Wendy looks at Ruth's death as closure so they can move on and do more business?
That's all it was.
I hate saying that.
That's exactly what it was.
She was getting her life together. She got Darlene's estate. She built a mansion. She got a partnership. She was getting shit together. And then this shit.
Speaking about Miss Darlene, that's my
girl.
The prettiest old lady ever. Just the sexiest woman. Pretty, sexy, evil. I mean, she wasn't quite as evil, but she was intense.
She wasn't evil, but you have to understand she didn't have a security staff. It's just her. True. So she has to shoot first and ask later. She has to. Mm-hmm. Especially dealing with that dude, the nephew, that the one that killed her. He shoots first, so she has to shoot first.
Right. She was gangsta. She was Ozark Mountain gangsta, not evil. Ozark Mountain gangsta. There's not a lot on here about
only
her.
52. She barely older than my
Born in
parents.
1952.
That must have been makeup. She came just 52. She's like not 70 yet. Well, she just turned 70.
She's hot. She's hot though.
She is. I'll say it. Anybody ask me, I'll say it. Yes, she was. I wish I was Wyatt. I said it. Clip me. I said it.
She's still got that presence. She had that presence about her where you could see her. This bitch was doing all kinds of shit in the 70s. She was doing coke in the 80s. She had partied in her life. She could teach her some tricks for sure. I've always liked her though. She was always one of my favorite characters. I saw her as like a Ruthie in 50 years. I liked her a lot, and I
kind of saw that too.
Yeah,
I kind of saw that too. Well,
I was sorry to see
this whole show. The young people are emulating the old people, even though they're acting more mature than the old people. Same thing with her and Ruth.
Mm-hmm. I liked her a lot.
I didn't like how she killed her husband. That's the only thing I didn't like. I didn't like her first husband, not her husband of only 2 hours, but her first husband. I didn't like that, but because I like Dale. His name wasn't Dale. His last name was it Dale's first name? I don't know. Her husband, Mr. Snell.
Dill, yeah. I think
but he wasn't.
I didn't like that either.
He was too lax. Like, I was thinking about when the first round of cartel members came on the property, he would hesitate. He'd want to have a conversation. Well, Darlene is like, we should have blown these motherfuckers away 15 minutes ago. What are you doing? So I think she looked at him as, you're hesitating. You're going to cost us everything. You need to have your finger on the trigger at all times. No negotiating.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but now I know how to kill somebody. Cherry pits in the coffee, I didn't know that was a thing. I hope it's true. Well, I don't hope it's true, but now I know. All right, last but not least, before we wrap this up, we got to talk about Marty. We touched on him a little bit earlier. Marty is such a complex character, but in certain ways he's so simple. Like, he's predictable in the sense that he's still going to do the right thing. There's still a small, even though he's very sociopathic, doesn't really engage in a lot of emotions, stoical, as you said, he's still going to try to do the right thing for everybody as much as possible. He's not going to throw people under the bus as quickly as Wendy would. Did you see any, like, what did you see about his character in this last season?
Just redeemable.
Mm-hmm.
He always, like I said before, the only time he lost control was that road rage scene. He didn't really lose control when he was the temporary boss in Mexico. I mean, he was coming undone a little bit, but that's why he talked to the priest. He talked to the father to kind of give him some some guidance to what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But the first time he just lost shit was the road rage, because that's everything building up over the past 6 years. Mm-hmm. Everything building up came to a head that moment.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think he ever hit anybody during a whole series. Do you remember him hitting anybody?
I think he got in one fight before, but yeah, I don't remember him doing anything crazy before. I'm kind of glad that the season ended before he decided to do his woke video, and I'm talking about Jason Bateman, the actor.
That I didn't know till you said your promo. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
don't tell me this.
He's on the
We're losing all of them. We're losing them.
Yeah, we are losing them. Jason Bateman, his sister, obviously Justine Bateman, famous in the 80s. She was in what was the show that had Tootie on it? Kim Fields.
Facts of Life.
With the 5 girls. Was that it?
Yep, Kim Fields, Facts of Life.
Yeah. So Justine Bateman never really had much of a career after the 80s. It was really cool to see him do very well in the late 90s with Arrested Development. So we know that he's good at doing comedy as well. Arrested Development was a great show. I never watched a lot of it, but I always liked it when I did watch it. And then just
he was in Hancock.
Go ahead.
He was in Hancock. The supporting actor in Hancock, like the sidekick, to get his image, get Hancock's image together and all that. That was him.
He was also in a Stephen King series a few years back. It was pretty good. It's nice to see him and he was in Horrible Bosses too. So it's nice to see him do different roles. He's still kind of like the nerdy nice guy, push around to some level, but not that much. And this series gave him a chance to be more of an alpha, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was it?
He was also in the movie or TV show where he was the first man. Well, his wife was like president or head of something. He was the husband, the first gentleman, or something like that.
Okay.
Or was it Stepford Wives?
Smoking Aces. Does a lot of voice work. Fairly Odd Parents, King of the Hill, The New Twilight.
Fairly Odd Parents. That's my shit. Yeah.
My daughter used to like to watch that show. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that he's had a very vast career and doing different things, and it's always nice to do voice work. A lot of people don't know voice work is a very good paying job. If you can get a
Yep.
job doing voices for cartoons, you're gonna make good money.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm proud of him. I think he fucking made this series. I honestly don't think anyone would probably have watched it without him in it, because we want to see him be wild. It was kind of like when Bryan Cranston did Breaking Bad, like
Greatest actor ever.
Yeah,
Greatest actor ever.
I know, and he's woke too. Fuck. I know. It hurts.
I mean, didn't he went from Malcolm's dad to Heisenberg. That's like range. And he's got a new show about winning the lottery, which I want to see on Paramount Plus. I want to see it. I've seen the previews. So anything he's in, I'm watching.
I know. I watched Your Honor, which was, I guess, I don't know if it was HBO or Showtime. That one again was an incredible series, great actor, but the ending sucked. And then a lot of people forget he was in Argo.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but I know he was in there.
Argo, fuck yourself. Argo is one of my all-time favorite movies. Don't laugh at me. I love me some Ben. What's his name? Ben Affleck. I like Ben Affleck. I like.
He got an Oscar for that one, didn't he?
He did. I like Casey Affleck too. I think Casey Affleck's a great actor as well. But anyway, getting back to Jason Bateman, I'm glad the series ended before the Uvalde shooting, because it's so discouraging. And maybe we can end the show talking about this. It's so discouraging when the people we've grown up with or the people we've been fans of for decades or longer turn out to be, communist agents, payroll commies. Payroll, elitists. And it's funny that we were talking about Maverick. You texted me about Maverick, and
people say
what is it that you said about Tom Cruise?
No, I was just saying, people have been saying it's not woke. Different YouTube channels, and those people never talk to each other. They all said, no, this one's not woke.
Good. And that led me to something, and I know you said you were a fan of Adam Carolla. That led me to thinking about something Adam Carolla said. And I'm going to tell you an Adam Carolla story in just a minute. Adam Carolla, I can't remember if it was the Dave Rubin show. I'm pretty sure it was the Dave Rubin show. It might have been Joe Rogan. What he said that when you see stars who do not put their 2 cents in to any of whatever the outrage of the day is, it is very likely that star is either conservative, Republican, or Christian, or just doesn't want to deal with it. And if you think about it, Tom Cruise has never in 30 years come forward and spoken out or said anything at an acceptance speech or jumped on the bandwagon of any of these causes. He never has. So if you tell me he's not woke, you're probably right, at least by Adam Carolla's standards.
Jerry Seinfeld's never done that. That's what he was thinking of. Adam was thinking of, I believe, when he said it. Jerry Seinfeld, you ever heard him? Say he's okay with the alphabets and all. He doesn't. No opinion means conservative.
Yes.
But he's like a billionaire. He doesn't have to bow down to any gods. He is God. He doesn't have to bow down.
Right.
So.
Right, and he's also not trying to keep it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Denzel is in that group too.
I think Denzel is too. I think he's one of us. I think so.
Especially when it starts talking about fatherhood. Because the first thing these woke people want you to do is demonize fathers. He ain't with that. Every time you bring up fathers, he's got he's got a Father's Day speech ready to go any time of the year. So I think he's. Remember that reporter that tried to say who you voting for? He was like, I'm not telling you that. Who are you voting for? He tried to get him to say he was voting for Trump. He's like, that's none of your business. Come on.
We love us.
And at one point he said, I'm voting for you.
So I just want to give you like a quick, I know you said you loved Adam Carolla. I want to tell you how Adam Carolla came into my life. Okay.
And then I'll tell you about mine, but go ahead.
Yeah. Tell me. I'll show you mine. You show me yours. Okay. So when I was a kid growing up in Los Angeles, there is a rock station called K-Rock. It's 106.7 K-Rock. Yep. Okay.
Yep. I know what that is.
I grew up listening to K-Rock because at the time, you know, I was really loving the grunge music, you know, the Soundgarden, the Nirvana, and of course the Pearl Jam, right? So I was like one of like maybe 3 kids in my school of this skin color who loved rock, but still everybody listened to it back then. So late nights at 11 o'clock p.m. when we were supposed to be in bed, I used to listen to the radio. Oh, gee, wonder why I had a podcast. I used to listen to the radio late at night, and K-Rock had a show called Love Line. Love Line
Dr. Drew,
co-hosted by a man who has made a very good name for himself because he was able to make the transition from radio. And there was a time when Love Line was a local show, and then it became a national show, and then it became a TV show. It up.
Yeah.
And then both Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, both of their careers completely blew up. Now, as we know, Dr. Drew, being the woke motherfucker that he is, he's done a lot of correspondence on CNN, and you know, he always likes to be down with the people, right? Well, when I first, this is going to tell you how old I am. When I first started listening to Love Line, before Adam Carolla, there was another host. His name was Ricky Rackman. Ricky Rackman was one of the very first MTV VJs from the early 80s. We're talking, he was back when Nina Blackwood and Downtown Julie Brown were on MTV. Mm-hmm. So he did the show. He started the show with Dr. Drew. And that's how old I am. I was listening to the show when Ricky Rackman was still on it. So then I would say, I don't know if it was 96, 97, maybe 98 or so. Ricky Rackman quit or dropped out or whatever. Adam Carolla came on and changed the whole dynamics of the show. Adam Carolla brought the comedy and I would dare to say the vulgarity to the show. Mm-hmm. Now, the show was always a little bit vulgar because the majority of the calls were about sex questions, bodily functions, or erections that couldn't go down. Okay.
I used to wonder, how are they able to say that on the radio? They're gonna get shut down.
They also talked a lot about STDs on that show, which was great. Scared the shit out of me. I didn't lose my virginity till I was 18. I did not. I was not.
It was a scared straight program for you.
Scared straight program for me. When they started talking about boils and itching and shit, I was like, I'm good.
I'm doing so that anyway, evil act.
So that's when Adam Carolla, that's when I first discovered Adam Carolla. So I can at least say that I am an old school over 20 years. Over 20 years.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna be 40 this year. I was 11 or 12 when I first started listening to the show. So we're talking almost 30 years of Adam Carolla being a part of my life.
So that you're way before me.
How did Adam Carolla become a part of your life?
Well, I was in Dallas, Texas, and I discovered KLSX on accident. That's the LA radio show that was syndicated in Dallas, Texas. That's how we were able to get Tom Leykis' show, and then after that get Loveline through KLSX.
Tom Leykis?
Yeah.
You said Tom Leykis?
Yeah. He's LA. You know him. Yeah. But it was accident because I was going to work, and the old school station in Dallas was 105.7, but the syndicated, the Tom Leykis show, and that's what led me to Adam. The Tom Leykis show was from LA, was syndicated in Dallas on 105.3. It's called Free FM, 105 Free FM. So I thought I was on 105.7. 105.7, which plays old school music, and I'm waiting for the music, and all I heard was this guy interviewing this woman. It just eloquently ripping her a new one. And I was thinking, well, this is one long ass commercial, but this is pretty entertaining. So that's what got me on to Tom, which led me to Adam, because he came after Tom. And then you're probably aware of I can't even speak. You're probably aware of the whole Howard Stern, who's going to replace Howard Stern, because he was leaving to go to Sirius. And I started listening to Adam on Loveline. Thought he was just hilarious, and I wondered how can he say that on the radio. And I heard he was up for one of the 4 replacements for Howard Stern in LA, Drive Time. But then the bad part was he wasn't in the market. He wasn't going to be on, the Texas market. He was going to be the LA West Coast market. So I couldn't get him. But that's when podcasting started. So what KLSX was doing was putting the replay of their show on podcast. So I got to listen to Adam do his big KLSX thing, one replacing Stern. So that's how I got into Adam. I followed him all the way up there. I think his show was 2 years. You got one with, I forgot who the first guy was, but second one was Dave Damashek. Third one was Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family. And then that's when the station decided, or corporate decided they were going to save money, fire everybody, and turn the station into another top 40s station. So I got to listen to Adam's and Tom's last show, and then Adam went directly the next day. This has never been done. The next day, and had his podcast. He called it the Pirate Ship. He said, "There's no bosses. I'm the boss. We're trying this out. My contract ends in a year, so I want to try this out. I need this to make money. I don't know how this is going to make money, but I'm just going to do my show here. I can say fucking shit if I want to. It's great, because this is something called a podcast. Never heard of it before." And he became the Guinness Book of World Records most downloaded podcast. So proud of him. You remember that, right? Because Ricky Gervais was, and you muted by the way, but Ricky Gervais was the winner the previous year. And he beat him for the year after. So he became the Guinness Book most downloaded podcast in 2006, I believe. Yep. So now y'all, you're muted. Muted
and booted. Make her feel stupid. Muted and booted. All right, no. That's old school.
You just write a song.
This has been. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for joining me, because there was I needed to get some of this OZARK shit off my chest, and I know you needed to get it off your chest. and we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the future. And I will be a better friend and check on you more often. We've got work to do, buddy, and I'm so happy that you're moving on with a new career path. And as you are exiting that career path, I am coming into that career path. It has been 6 months, no marijuana, 6 months clean.
Half a year, you had at least asked for a puff, a single puff.
Nope.
Badass.
I still like the smell though. I still like the smell, but again, like you've been a motivating factor in a lot of ways, and I hope that we continue to save our country together.
Let's do it. Remember that action item I told you about? You've already done it. I said we need to get off of YouTube and all. You need to get off of these commie platforms. This chick already did it.
You're doing it, and yeah, I mean, one thing I ordered an external hard drive, so I have been consistently downloading. Oh, I don't know what just happened, but I've been downloading all of my episodes, and all of my TikToks are on here from the last 6 months, so I can start batch uploading them to Rumble. I want to get more involved with Rumble. Dan Bongino. Can everyone hear me?
It's choppy, but I heard what you said about the hard drive, and you're just starting to talk about Dan Bongino. And well, your picture is gone now, so yeah. So now that I am in charge of the show, this is what we're gonna do. Now, I'm releasing all the secret codes, and so I need you guys to write this down. The secret codes. Yeah. No, I don't have anything. Rage, come back. I'm gonna calm down so I don't look like I'm more foolish than I already do. Calm down. Yeah, calm down until Rage comes back. And fix this freaking light too, man. This light keeps coming. I don't know why you buy things and it doesn't do what you paid for it to do. Very annoying. This light will not stay on. But got the light back up. Okay. So yeah, when you come back and you watch the replay, I'm happy that you are free from the commie platforms, free from the tube, free from the talk, free from the gram, free from the Twitter bird. You got your own stuff. You're uncancelable. It's going to cost a lot of money, I hate to tell you, but at least they don't have as much control over you as they did when before you got the server from the Netherlands. Yeah, I need to check that. You need to tell me how to get to Sesame Street. I mean, to the Netherlands server that you have. Oh, she's back. I just got through telling everybody all the secrets so everybody knows. So you got like 20 pieces of competition coming your way. But yeah.
Honey, there is no competition. There is no competition.
There is no competition. No competition.
The only creators that can compete with me are Axe Truth and Megan McGlover and Scott Pressler. We're the only ones.
I didn't know she had a book. I got to get that book.
Yes.
Megan's got a book.
So yeah, I mean, I want to encourage everyone to support Megan because we do, I mean, at least once a month I'm doing some sort of Megan McGlover watch party and we all enjoy her. She makes us feel better. She makes us laugh at this situation. We can channel our anger through her. So she's
Hmm.
doing a lot for a lot of people and I think she's helping a lot of people. She has a personal counseling business. I don't know if she's technically a licensed therapist, but she helps people who've experienced trauma and she helps people with relationships. So she's like a marriage coach as well, for gay and straight couples. So I mean, she does a lot for the world. So yeah, we should support her. I think her book is $30. You can't find it on Amazon. You have to buy it through her site, but that's fine. We should support her.
What What do you think? Like,
Now you're first.
what would it feel
Okay, there
like?
you go. But anyhow, this has
What would
been
it feel?
fun. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? I'm saying, like, what would it feel like to have your first live video on your site?
You're coming in and out.
I said, what would it be like to have your first live video on your site? Can you hear me?
It would feel good. It would feel good.
Completely detached from the
I can hear you.
voices.
I said it would feel good.
Oh, it must be in a delay. Yeah, it must be delayed.
Well, I think I know what you're asking, but yeah, I mean, I want to have it seems like when I started, you know, I had a very international audience. I've gotten letters from all over the world, from Canada, Australia, Japan, England, Germany. Like I know there's people who have seen my face from all over the world. So I would like to get back into having an international audience and building that because the same problems that we're having here with woke culture, LGBT, and COVID and everything like that, it's happening in other westernized countries as well. So there's a lot of us, when we say the word patriot, we only think about ourselves, but there's British
Mhm.
patriots, there's Australian patriots, there's German patriots, and they don't have a voice, and I want to help everybody. I want to be there for everybody all over the world. So
I
yeah, I
think
mean, that's kind of the next step. Somebody told me about something. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I seriously think woke is getting their asses kicked. I don't know if it'll be a complete flip, but woke has
Can
been
you hear
taking
me?
a lot of L's lately. Did you hear what I said? No, yes, no. You're moving, but can you hear me? Because I can hear you when you speak. No? Yes? Maybe? So?
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
What part of that did you hear? Because you're frozen again.
Okay. So CLUU, I'm gonna wrap up the show, not because I want to cut you off, but because you're really breaking up really bad right now. Somebody did tell me about something, maybe 2 weeks ago. Um, there is a Bitcoin. There's a Bitcoin platform called Theta, and it's
Uh-huh.
messy but better because there's more people on it, and it has its own actual bit.
Oh boy. Uh, got the little circle. We got the little circle. But I heard the part, if you're watching the replay, I heard the part about the Bitcoin platform. You know, crypto's my thing, so that'll be something to look into. Definitely be something to look into. The original one I knew about.
You know what?
Library,
let's
it's
end the
failed.
live. I'm gonna call you. We're already at an hour and 15 minutes. I'm gonna call you about this theta thing, and we'll talk about it on the phone. For everyone else, libraries, I can't buy Bitcoin for it, but we'll talk about that privately. But for everyone else, thank you for hanging out with me and CLUU. Please make sure you go check out the Red Pill Reading Club redpillreadingclub.com. And for those of you who are Ozarks fans, please leave comments and feel free to contribute your opinion. And on that note, y'all have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.